Hare Krishna. Pranam to all devotees here. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome to all the devotees here in this uh, study of Srimad Bhagavad-gita. So as we have mentioned in our previous session, which was conducted 1 month before, that we'll be discussing Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as it is. Along with that, uh, we'll be also discussing Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Sararth Darshini. Also, we will try to include some other points mentioned by other Vaishnava acharyas. So basically, we will try to go as deep as possible in each verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we will also see the practical application of those verses in our daily life. So I hope this is going to be a very adventure experience for all of us. Uh, just for recap, uh, today we'll not be discussing the first verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita because I will have to make some background of Bhagavad Gita so that then we can easily enter into uh, the scene. So, in the last session, I mentioned about 14 Vidyasthanas or 14 places of knowledge. Uh, Sometimes it is mentioned that there are 18 Vidyasthanas. Uh, and why we need to know these 18 Vidyasthanas? Because that's defines what knowledge is. It's particularly Vedic knowledge. If somebody questions us, what do you mean by Vedic knowledge? Then this is the answer. This Vedic knowledge means this 18 places of knowledge or 18 branches of knowledge. So there is a verse from Vishnu Purana. I will quote that verse to support this. Angani Vedaschattvaro Mimamsa Nyaya Vistarah Dharmashastram Puranancha Vidya Yetam Chaturdashah आयुर्वेदो धनुर्वेदो गांधर्वश्चेति ते त्रयः अर्थशास्त्रं चतुर्थं च विद्या ह्यष्टादशैव ताः. So we discussed that there are 14 branches of knowledge, basically four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, uh, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. These four Vedas, and then there are six Vedangas. Uh, Vedangas, or you can say limbs of Vedas. Uh, so this, what are these six? One is Shiksha. Then second one is uh, Kalpa. Third one is Vyakarana. Fourth one is Nirukta. Fifth one is uh, Jyotisham. And sixth one is Chanda Shastram. So I will just explain them, each one of them in a very brief. Shiksha is basically science dealing with pronunciation, how to pronounce each and every varna. Kalpa is it is a science dealing with Vedic rituals, yajnas. Uh, Vyakarana, that is a science dealing with grammar, etymologies. Uh, Nirukta is a uh, science of words, or you can say dictionary. Uh, what are the meanings of different words? So we can see in this Nirukta. And then we have Jyotisham. Jyotisha is a science dealing with astrology or astronomy or both. And sixth one is the last one is Chanda Shastram. Chanda Shastram is the science dealing with meters of Sanskrit verses or uh, any poetry, any Sanskrit poetry. So these six are called Vedangas, and then we have four left. Uh, One is Dharma Shastram, then Puranam. Dharma Shastram is the science dealing with uh, codes of dharma, codes of behavior. Uh, it includes Manu Samhita, Yajnavalkya Smriti, all different 20 different minor smritis are there. So these are the codes of conduct given by rishis in traditional traditional paramparas. So these are dharma shastras and Puranas. We have 18 major Puranas, and then we have uh, Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya Shastra is the science dealing with logics, and the last one is uh, Mimamsa Shastra. Mimamsa Shastra is the science dealing with interpretation of Vedic statements or Vedic words. So I will not go in depth of each and every word because that will take so much of time. Uh, so this is just to get you some idea about our Vedic knowledge. So these are 14 branches of knowledge, and then uh, the other four: Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, or it's called uh, it's also called how to say uh, yeah, a science of singing, you can say science of singing, and there is another word for that. I'm not able to recall it. And the fourth one is Arthashastram. So Ayurveda, it is very easy to understand. It's a science dealing with increasing ayu or the age or keeping body healthy, not just body but mind, intelligence, soul, everything. And then we have Dhanurveda, science dealing with different weapons, military science, and uh, the Gandharva Veda. Gandharva Veda is science dealing with singing, science of singing. It's also science. So we have different musical instruments. So there is a shastra for that, how to uh, sing it according to shastra. And the last one is Arthashastra. Arthashastra is dealing with how to rule praja, how to rule citizens. So science dealing with the society, societal laws and orders, uh, how a king should manage his kingdom. So all these rules, uh, punishments, and all these things are mentioned in Arthashastra. We we must have heard about Chanakya's or Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya, because Chanakya was called Kautilya. So by his name, this Arthashastra also got this name, Kautilya Arthashastra. So this the first 14 and now this fourth. So then it becomes 18. So generally we say 14 branches of knowledge, but if we include these four, then it becomes 18. So total we have 18 branches of knowledge. And then we also discussed that for every sampradaya to get recognized by other sampradayas, they have to write commentaries on Prasthana Trayi. Prasthana Trayi means one is Prasthana Trayi means three things, three prasthanas. Prasthana means voyage or journey. In simple words, it's journey. So journey into three. What is that journey into three? One is Shruti Prasthan, journey into Shruti. Smriti Prasthan, journey into Smriti. Uh, and third one is Nyaya Prasthana. Nyaya Prasthana is, okay, I will later explain it that. So for Shruti Prasthana means a journey into Shruti or the essence of Shruti. And what is the essence of Shruti? That is Upanishads. So when you say Shruti Prasthana, it means Upanishads. So these are also part of the Vedas. And many get Starwar Acharyas have written commentaries on this Upanishads. So to establish their sampradayas. And then we have Smriti Prasthana. Smriti Prasthana is uh, our Bhagavad-gita. Because Bhagavad-gita appears in Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva. So from the smritis or recollection of the sages or writings of the sages, we have this or smriti. Combine all these granthas or books are called smritis. Those are written by the sages uh, or recollection of the sages. Because what is a recollection is called smriti or memory. So they recollected what they heard from their sources and they written it down and we received them in a uh, Guru Shishya Parampara. So that is Smriti Prasthana. So we have Bhagavad Gita for that. So almost all sampradayas have written commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And then third one is Nyaya Prasthana. Nyaya Prasthana is called Vedanta Sutras. Uh, so Vedanta Sutra, there are very short statements, uh, and but it contains a very in-depth meaning in that. So to explore those meanings, uh, different acharyas have written extensive commentaries on the Vedanta Sutras. So out of this Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, and Nyaya Prasthana, now we are dealing with this Smriti Prasthana, that is Bhagavad Gita. So this Upanishad represent all the essence of Shrutis and basically four Vedas and Smriti Prasthana. Bhagavad Gita represents the essence of all the recollective knowledge of the sages and Nyaya Prasthana, that means Vedanta Sutras. It represents uh, the culmination of Vedas. So, so basically, uh, all authentic sampradayas have to write commentaries on this to get recognized, and our acharyas have also written commentaries on that. So we'll be now discussing the Smriti Prasthana that represents all the Smritis. So this is Bhagavad Gita. So that was uh, discussed in the previous session, but because not many devotees could join the meeting because it was a somewhat a surprise for many of them. That's why I try to just repeat almost everything. And now we will start our uh, official session on this. So when we say Bhagavad Gita as it is, many times people object to us why why you need to write as it is. Bhagavad Gita means Bhagavad Gita, but as Prabhupada explained that there are many commentaries or explanations on Bhagavad Gita available everywhere in the world, but there is no as it is presentation or transparent presentation. So that's why we study Bhagavad Gita as it is. And why does Bhagavad Gita as it is make a difference? There are many other commentaries of acharyas, and Bhagavad Gita as it is also one of them. So what is special in Bhagavad Gita as it is? So what is special in that is it gives the proper conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Now we may wonder, uh, does that mean the other commentaries or other interpretations or explanations were wrong? Um, uh, that is not our intention to say that it was everything is wrong. But if Prabhupada somewhere in the purports, in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita writes that if uh, the the import of the author is not explained, then it defeats the purpose, or it's not a justice. I'm just paraphrasing, not a these are not exact words. So basically, uh, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if he don't uh, represent his intent why he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, then it is just a failure. You may just give different details on Bhagavad Gita, or this word means this, or this means this. That uh, there could be scope of such analysis, but it just defeats the purpose if you don't explain the intent of the speaker, and that is why Bhagavad Gita, as it is special for all of us, and it is a boon for the whole world. And now I'll just briefly explain. It's a very lengthy subject matter, but I will try to be as brief as possible. Someone may question us that this is just your own imagination. That when you say that Bhagavad Gita as it is special, it it really really represents the intent of the speaker, original speaker, Lord Krishna. Well, we don't say it out of emotions. We say it uh, out of logic. So, in the Mimamsa Shastra, or the science dealing with the interpretations of Vedic statements, so there is uh, very important verse that we can always remember to understand the purport of literally any scripture or any speech. How do we understand this is the purport or conclusion of this speech or this statement or this book? It's a very logical approach. It has got nothing to do with anyone's emotions. So rest assured, we are not dealing with any emotional people here. Of course, to be emotional is not something wrong, but it's not just emotions. It is logical emotions. So I will just mention that verse. So the verse is उपक्रमोपसंहारो अभ्यासो अपूर्वता फलम अर्थवादोपपत्ति च लिंगम तात्पर्य निर्णये. So there are six things, six characteristics by which we can understand that this is the intent or purport or conclusion of this text or this speech. So I will just explain them briefly. Upakrama. Upakrama means it's the initial part of the speech or text. So by looking at the initial part of the text, I will just use text only because it can include speech, but just to make it short. So when you observe the initial part of that any speech, that reflects the intent of the speaker. The second one is upasamhara. Upasamhara means the concluding part of the work, concluding part of any text. So what is how does author conclude his speech or his work? That also gives a signal that this is his intent. Now third one is abhyasa. Uh, Abhyasa means these are all technical words. So uh, don't get confused with abhyasa means practice bro. No, that has a generic meaning, but here we are dealing with the technical jargon. It's a these are technical words from Mimamsa Shastra. So here abhyasa means repetition of the theme or idea. If we say that something is getting repeated in this text in the book, whole book, so that also reflects the intention of the author. Then apurvata, uh, this I think this fourth one, or I think third one. If we just combine upakrama and usamara as one unit, then apurvata is third one, number three. Apurvata, what is apurvata? Apurvata is the idea not mentioned before or mentioned first time. By the word only, we can understand apurvata, which was not mentioned before. So, which was not mentioned before, what does that mean? When anytime we can say it is the first time, or how do we know that it is not mentioned before? So here, uh, the simplified meaning of this apurvata is that the meaning which we get uh, from this particular text, and which is something apurva, which was not mentioned before, or in a simple word, there was no absolute need to mention it before. It was only in this text, or uh, it was of such nature that it got mentioned here. It is little difficult to get this particular point. Uh, Say, I will just make it simple. Why would you like to mention something? If something is very obvious to common people, then you won't like to mention it. That will not be considered as apurvata. But something which is not obvious, and then uh, you mention that in your work or in your speech, then this is called apurvata. And only uh, when we get across, when we come across such apurvata statements, then that apurva statements also reflects the intent of the speaker. Let me give you some simple examples. Uh, Maybe it's a little technical, but I think devotees can understand it. Let's say if when we say that uh, this is a famous argument from Advaitins that anyway there is a bheda between jiva and Ishvara, and and we say not just jiva and Ishvara, among jivas also there is bheda. So what is special in that? You don't need any uh, no sane person would try to explain this bheda. It is understood. But what is apurva, that is abheda. That how these differences are there, but still there is oneness, unity. So, so when this hear these statements in Vedas, so that's why they uh, emphasize on these abheda statements, saying that this is the apurvata statements, and this means the conclusion or intent of the Vedas, that it is abheda. Otherwise, why do you, uh, why would you like to mention something which is very obvious? Now, the Vaishnava acharyas, they go to another extreme. They say that say the oneness also for it's not something unusual. Oneness is also not so unusual. Uh, Bheda, there is Bheda between among between Jiva and Ishvara, even Jiva, Prakriti, and among the Jivas also there is Bheda, and there is there is Abheda statement in the Vedas. So what is special in that? Why we need to mention this Bheda? Why this Bheda statement is Apurva? Because this makes it very special, because although there is a Abheda, but there is a very special Veda here. It's not just any normal Veda. I will just clarify it by a very simple example. For example, uh, husband and wife. Now, there are two things, right? But still, they are considered one unit. According to Dharma, they are considered one unit. We call Dampati. Even in English, we have couple, right? Married couple. So, uh, even all families consider one unit. So, in one sense, we can say there is a Abheda, but there is a special Bheda here. So, anyway, I will not go in deep, but this Apurva statement means those statements which we come across in the text, and that are not mentioned before, and that are really worth mentioning. These are the Apurva statements. When we come across such statements, then that reflect the intent of the uh, speaker or text. And then we have uh, phalam. If we in the while studying some text, we come across that the text describes the results of studying this work, then that phala or phalashruti, that also reflects the intent of the speaker. Then we have arthavada is basically uh, statements, they praise something or discourage us from doing not doing something, or stuti ninda paraka statements in simple words. Stuti means praising, and ninda means uh, discarding or discouraging statements. You should not steal. So this kind of statement. So uh, or those who steal, then they go to this hell or that hell. Sometimes there is exaggeration also. So this is called arthavada. So from this arthavada also we get the idea about the intent of the speaker. Then we have upapatti, the last one. Upapatti means logical consistencies throughout the text or work. If we say that uh, what is mentioned in the first chapter or second chapter, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all chapters, there is a logic consistencies. It's not that author said something in first and then he now changing his opinion. So uh, because these texts are of divine origin, so there cannot be any such fault. So we just need to understand that logical consistencies which we see in Bhagavad Gita or any Vedic text. So when we find that logical consistency, so that upapatti or logical consistencies is also a uh, this also leads to the conclusion. This is the conclusion or intent of the text or Bhagavad Gita. So when we combine all these six, then we can really understand that bhakti, pure devotional service, or bhakti yoga is the conclusion or intent of Bhagavad Gita. It is not an emotional thing, it's the most logical approach. Now, I will just briefly mention it. Perhaps tomorrow we can discuss more into this. Uh, but just to, because I have already mentioned this six approaches. So, how do we say that Bhagavad Gita, as it uh, is the authentic book, or it gives the authentic conclusion that pure devotional service is the conclusion or is the intent of Bhagavad Gita? Let's see. So, uh, so first thing is upakrama. We said upakrama, the initial part of the of any text. So we will just use Bhagavad Gita now onwards. So initial part of Bhagavad Gita, we say Bhagavad Gita 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. What do we say? What do we find? Bhakto sime sakha cheti. In the very beginning of this Bhagavad Gita, or uh, why Lord Krishna gave these signs to Arjuna. The very reason was because he was a devotee. Bhakto sime sakha cheti. So because he was a devotee, that was he was given these signs. Now, Upasamhara. Upasamhara is Bhagavad Gita 1865. Man manava mad bhakto madhyajima namaskuru mame vaishyati satyam te pratijane priyosime. Again, because you are dear to me, because you are my devotee. And what is mad bhakto? Become my devotee. So again, here also, because Arjuna was a devotee and he was very dear, because of being a devotee, he was very dear to Krishna. So, so this comes in the concluding part of Bhagavad Gita, 1865. Again, same. Then we have abhyasa, repetition during Bhagavad Gita. What is so? What repetition do we find in Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita 1814. Ananya chita satatam yomam smarati nityasha tasyam sulabha partha niti yuktasya yogina. So those who are always conscious of me, so for them I am very easily available. It's again about devotional service. Then Bhagavad Gita 9.22. Ananyas chintayantu mam ye janah paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshamam vahamyaham. Those who constantly thinking of me, I take care of them. Again, now repetition in Bhagavad Gita 8.22. Bhaktya labhyas tananyaya. Only through pure devotional service I can be understood. Then Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Now we are just progressing towards Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Bhajantyananya manasaha. Again, the bhajanti word is there. Then Bhagavad Gita 1854. Bhaktya svananyaya shakyo. Aham evam vidhorjuna. Only through devotional service I can be understood. Then 1866. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. Again, we find the same repetition. Then Bhagavad Gita 9. I'm just going back. 9.14. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dradvrataha namastantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. So throughout Bhagavad Gita we find this repetition of bhakti yoga, right? Okay. Then we have apurvata. What is apurvata? As I mentioned, that the statement which was worthy of mentioning and which was mentioned in the text uh, first time. So, what is the statement in Bhagavad Gita 18.7? This is my personal analysis. So, that is Bhagavad Gita 8.7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmar yuddhicha mayyar pita manobuddhir mame vaishyasya samshayah. So, in all time, constantly think of me and fight. So, so it was very obvious that Arjuna, uh, when he came to Kurukshetra, uh, he came for fighting. But now, what he was told is not just fighting, but mam anusmara yuddhacha. So this is a apurva statement, and we find it in the this Bhagavad Gita 8.7. that you have to fight, but don't think that you are fighting for yourself, for your swartha, your selfish desires. You have to fight for me and thinking of me. So this is something apurvata, a statement worthy of importance, and it was mentioned first time here. Then Phalam, Bhagavata 8.15, Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukhalayam Ashwashatam Napnuvanti Mahatmana Sansiddhim Paramam Gata. So you won't get repeated birth and death. Na Punarjanma, you won't get rebirth. Then Bhagavata 8.16, A Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravarti Norjana Mamupetya to Kaunteya Punarjanma na Vidyate. Again, this Phala. Because when you attain me, there is no rebirth. So again, the repetition also says, come to me, Bhakti Yoga. Then Arthavada. Arthavada means statement praising something or discarding something. So 18 Bhagavata 1865. Manabhana madbhakto atyajimam namaskuru pratijane priyosi me. That become my devotee. Because Krishna is inspiring Arjuna. Become like this. Become my devotee. Then Bhagavata 934. Manabha madbhakto mame veshes yuktayam atmana matparayana. Become my devotee. So he's again inspiring Arjuna to become his devotee. Then statement discarding something. Bhagavata 1858. Na shoshyasi vinangshasi. Mat chitta sarvadurgani mat prasada tarishyasi. Atha chetvam ahankara na shoshyasi vinangshasi. If you don't obey my instructions out of your false ego, then you will perish. So, is encouraging Arjuna to become his devotee, work for him, and be conscious of him. And he also gives the result that if you don't follow me, then you will go to hell. So again, the Arthavada, discarding something and praising something. That's also Bhagavad Gita. Come to me, just follow me. Then Upapatti, logical consistency. So where do we find? I will just mention the verses. Bhagavad Gita 4.3, same about Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Gita 8.22. Again, we can just after this class, you can hear the recording and go to this particular verses and check it yourself. Bhagavad Gita 9.13, again Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Gita 18.54, then whole 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita about Bhakti Yoga. Then Bhagavad Gita 18.65 and Bhagavad Gita 18.66. So throughout Bhagavad Gita, there is uh, logical consistency about Bhakti Yoga. So it is nothing something that you know someone's emotional outburst. Oh, I need only pure devotional service. So let me just squeeze out bhakti from Bhagavad Gita. It's a logical conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I will just conclude here because I think I took some little more time. Sorry for that. Uh, I will in future I will take care of the time. Today it was the first time and it's a very little difficult. Don't worry. We won't be too technical throughout our session. I will keep it. I will try to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Now it's the time for questions. We will take only one question. Vivek Kumar. I hope this is Brihanta.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, Brihanta. Any question?
Prabhuji, I would like to ask about the exams. Will exams be held for this session?
No, 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 no. Exams are already going on in our daily life. Just try to hear it properly, attentively, and apply it in your life. That's the exam. Maya is already testing us. I don't want to torture you by more exams. Okay?
Yes. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Best we can do is that to understand anything is to speak what you learn. Whatever you have learned today, just speak to others or share it with others. Okay? Anupam Mishra ji has raised his hand. Okay, maybe last. This is the last question. Yes, Anup.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have this question. Sorry, I joined little late. in fact, towards the end.
No
So
issue, no
can
issue.
you please, so can you just please explain that what's going to be the structure of these classes? How often would this be? Would this be daily? Would you be taking up one shlok after another? So just want to know a little bit about the structure of these sessions and how are they
Okay.
going to be?
I had already given in the first introductory part the structure of Bhagavad Gita course. Anyway,
Yeah.
I will just repeat it here. So we'll be studying each verse in detail. And
Mm-hmm.
first we will study Bhagavad Gita as it is from Srila Prabhupada's purpose, because Prabhupada has summarized the purpose from the commentaries of Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwan Chakravarti Thakur. So, and he has given his own insights as well. So, first we will go through Bhaktivedanta purports, and then we will particularly will refer to Vishwan Chakravarti Thakur's commentary uh, to get some more details. And if there are some other details from other acharyas, we will include that also. Some technical things. Uh, so, and is, we'll try to understand each verse, and we won't restrict our one verse per session. That won't be the limitation.
Mm-hmm.
We may have to take as many sessions to cover that particular verse. So
Okay.
we don't limit that. So, and yeah, that's the basic structure. And at the end, we will have question answer. That's simple.
So will we have classes daily?
From Monday to Friday,
Okay, from Monday to Friday. Okay.
and we'll be having this recorded classes also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm recording it, so it will be available on the
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. So those who are not able to come at this time, they can hear
Mm-hmm.
the recordings also. Okay.
Thank you,
Uh,
Prabhuji.
Mataji, just for the information, we have also created one group, Secrets of
Okay.
Gita. If you are not the part of that group, you can
I
join that
am
one.
part I am part of that group. That's how I came to know about the course.
Okay, Mataji. Actually, we are sharing all these information, like its
Yeah.
classes will be from Monday to Friday and the timing.
Mm-hmm.
And we will also be sharing the recorded lectures on that group.
Yeah, I did check out the YouTube channel. So I think it's a new YouTube
No,
channel. So
it's
abhi,
yes, yes. It's
Yes,
the today is the first class for this Bhagavad
that's
Gita.
okay. That's okay.
okay. Okay.
No big deal.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Thank you to all devotees for joining Bhagavad Gita, the secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.